This first law that states that whenever the magnetic flux linked with a conductor or coil changes, an EMF is induced in it. Fine. And EMF is induced in it. Suppose if there is a magnetic field produced by N and S, fine, and if the conductor is placed in between, if the conductor is placed, fine, then the EMF is induced in this conductor. EMF is induced in this conductor, and you can see on the calorimeter also. Fine. So another way you can define whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux lines of force, an EMF is induced in it. Fine. So this is the first law. What second law says that the magnitude of induced EMF, the magnitude of induced EMF generated. So here whenever magnetic flux cuts, fine, EMF is induced, and the magnitude of induced EMF generated in the coil or a conductor is directly proportional to the rate of change of flux linkages. So what do you mean by flux linkages? Flux linkages is nothing but it is N d phi by dt. So rate of change of flux with respect to N is nothing but it is the magnitude of induced EMF that could be given. Fine. So here we can understand the second law. We can understand the second law by an explanation. Suppose a coil has N turns. Coil has N turns, and magnetic flux linking the coil increases. Magnetic flux linking the coil is increasing from flux phi 1 to phi 2. We know that the unit is in Weber. In, say, for an example, t seconds, right? Then the magnetic flux linkage means the product of magnetic flux and number of turns. Right. So the magnetic flux linkages means the product of magnetic flux and number of turns. Okay, so we can write in the form of expression also. So in that case, we can write initial flux linkage is how much? So the number of turns are N phi 1. Fine. And similarly, final flux linkages after t second. Final flux linkages after t second is N phi 2. Fine. So change of flux linkage in time t second. So we can write change of flux linkage in time t second. How much it is? It is the difference of N phi 2 minus N phi 1. Or we can say N phi 2 minus phi. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, the induced EMF in the coil due to change of flux is given by induced EMF. EMF is given by or is proportional to N phi 2 minus N phi 1 with respect to time t. Right? Or we can say it is Weber per second, or we can say it is volt. Fine. So we can write EMF is nothing but it is N phi 2 minus phi 1 with respect to time t. Or we can write in the form of E is equal to N. If we take the differentiation, then N d phi by dt is the induced EMF in the coil according to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. That is already studied by you people, fine. And here the minus sign is used. This minus sign is given to the right hand side expression, fine, right side of the expression, which indicates that EMF is induced in such a direction that the current generated by it tends to oppose the increase of flux through the coil. I repeat again, this minus sign shows that the current generated by it tends to oppose the increase of flux through the coil that produced it according to Lenz's law. Fine. So here we can write an expression of induced EMF in the coil. E is equal to minus n d phi by dt. Fine. So these are the Faraday's law. Now Fleming's right hand rule. This rule is already studied by you people, but still I am repeating. So this rule is applicable to determine the direction of induced EMF. Direction of induced EMF in the conductor moving across a stationary magnetic field. Stationary magnetic field. Right? So here you can use the right hand, where if you stretch the four fingers, the middle finger and the thumb, all these are at right angle in three mutual perpendicular directions of each other. So here in this case, this forefinger shows the magnetic field. Fine. Similarly here, suppose if N pole is here and S pole is here, then magnetic field will be in the direction of this forefinger. Fine. So here, if the magnetic field is in this way, and if the conductor moves in the upward direction or downward direction, fine. So the force is given on the upward direction, motion. So we can say a motion of the conductor in the upward direction. Then the EMF is induced at this middle finger. Fine. So this way we can define the Fleming's right hand rule also. So this Fleming right hand rule that gives the direction of induced EMF, fine, in the conductor. So if your magnetic field is reversed, automatically the direction of induced EMF is going to be reversed. Fine. And the motion which is shown with the thumb. Now similarly, we can go for the Lenz's law. This law is also applied to determine the direction of induced EMF in the coil or circuit when the flux linking with it changes. Fine, like statically induced EMF. So we are going to discuss about statically induced EMF as well as dynamically induced EMF also. Fine. So according to this law, the direction of induced EMF or induced current is always such that it opposes the cause. Is always such that it opposes the cause which produce it. Which produce it. Fine. The cause may be changed in speed or any other way may help in producing the induced current in it. Fine. So here there is a simple coil which is connected with the galvanometer. Now here, if you keep this permanent magnet with a north polarity nearer to the coil, and if you move it outside, fine. So while moving from right to left and left to right, fine. So what is going to happen? The EMF is induced in the coil, and this induced EMF is always opposes because of the magnetic field which is created with the north pole. Fine. So here this is Lenz's law. Now we are going to discuss about the dynamically induced EMF and statically induced EMF. So first of all, let me start with the statically induced EMF. Fine, statically induced EMF. So let me use that notepad, so it could be better to write everything. Okay. So we are going to use this notepad for certain theories. Okay. So first of all, let me start with the self, or we can say statically induced EMF. Before proceeding to the statically induced EMF, let me try to explain two things. What happened? There are two things which you need to be taken care of. One is magnetic field. So there are different types of magnetic field. One is, we can say, a steady magnetic field. One is dynamic magnetic field. Dynamic means it may be in a motion, it may be altered, which is not steady, we can say, non-steady magnetic field. Fine. Okay, steady magnetic field. Suppose if there are N and N S pole. So if we keep this opposite polarity magnets, we know that there is a magnetic field which is created. And such kind of magnetic fields, we can say it is steady magnetic. Second case is when there is a solenoid and if the current flows through it, alternate, AC generator is connected here, and if an alternating current flows, so this AC alternate current will revert the direction of magnetic field. So when there is a sine wave of a magnetic field, if the current is written with I m sin omega t, if the current in a positive half cycle will flow through this, fine, and the magnetic field will be created. It may create N pole here and S pole here, and in the negative half cycle it will create N pole here and S pole here. So the magnetic field will revert at every instant of time, and the number of poles, or the poles which are going to be changed here, right? So we can say the magnetic field is not steady, it may alter with respect to time. Yeah, fine. So there are two different types of magnetic fields which are important to understand. Fine. Okay, now we are going to discuss about statically induced EMF. What does it mean statically? When the conductor or coil, when conductor, it may be known as coil also, fine, and the magnetic field both remain stationary. I repeat again, when the conductor and the magnetic field both remain stationary, but the magnetic field linking with the coil or conductor that undergoes a change, and hence EMF is induced in the conductor or the coil. Such induced EMF is known as statically induced EMF. I repeat again, when the conductor and magnetic field both are stationary, but the magnetic field linking with the coil or conductor undergo change, an EMF is induced in it. An EMF is induced in it, and that kind of induced EMF is known as statically induced EMF, where the magnetic field is also stationary and the conductor which cuts the magnetic flux fine, or which link the magnetic flux remains stationary, then such kind of induced EMF is known as statically induced EMF. So are of two different types. One is self-induced EMF and another one is mutually induced EMF. Fine. So let us start with self-induced EMF. Self-induced EMF. Okay. So what do you mean by self-induced EMF? So I'm repeating this theory already studied by you people, but still I'm repeating. The EMF induced in a coil, the EMF induced in a coil due to change in due to change of its own magnetic flux linked with it is called self-induced EMF. Self-induced EMF. Say for an example, if you take an example of transformer, there is a primary winding and there is a secondary winding. So whenever the current flows through this winding, the flux will be set up in this magnetic pole. Right. Now this flux sets up because here there is a change in current. It means there is a change in this field, and EMF is induced, and this induced EMF will generate the flux. So here we can say self-induced EMF. And this flux will travel and will linked again here with the coil 2 known as secondary coil. Fine. So here in EMF is also induced, that is known as E2. Here we can see it is even. So this E2 EMF is induced here, and this induced EMF is because of the change in current in primary. The flux linked to the secondary winding, or the EMF is induced in the secondary winding, is due to the change in current in primary winding. Fine. So here we can say the induced EMF, which is mutually induced EMF. Right. So in the secondary coil, we can consider it as it is a mutually induced EMF. And here it is self-induced EMF. Okay. So this is the best example of self-induced EMF and mutually induced EMF. Now let us have one example of mutually induced EMF and self-induced EMF. Fine. So we can derive even an expression. Yes or no? That we can derive. Fine. So self-induced EMF means, suppose if there is a core and if the winding is wound, fine, and this winding which is connected through a resistor, variable resistor, and if it is connected to a battery, fine, and we know that the EMF is induced here with north and south pole. Fine. So here we can consider as N turns, fine. So when the current flows through it, the flux will be produced. Its own current. Fine. Now here, as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, we know that the induced EMF is given with N d phi by dt. Yes, sir. Now the coil is wound on one core, fine, and whose permeability is constant because the material is constant here. I mean, we are not altering the material properties, fine. So the flux proportional to the current. Yes, in the previous session also we know that the flux produced is directly proportional to the current flowing through the winding. So the amount of flux produced here is nothing but the amount of current flows through this winding. Fine. So here we can write phi is directly proportional to I, and we can also write phi is equal to K into I. Fine. So here in this case, if we differentiate with respect to time, then we can write it is d phi by dt is equal to K times di by dt. And if we substitute this value of d phi by dt in the equation number 1, we can get E is equal to minus n d phi by dt, and we can get minus n into k, where k is the constant di by dt. Or we can write minus n into, now what is the value of k here? K is phi by I according to this expression. So here we can write phi upon I into di by dt. And finally we can write minus n phi upon I into di by dt, and is nothing but minus L di by dt, where L is the inductance, is nothing but it is minus n phi upon. So the inductance is always depends on the MMF. Last time we have seen that N is the number of turns, F is the flux, and the amount of current flows through it. Fine. So we can have an expression of E is equal to minus L di by dt. So the rate of change of current due to the property of an inductance of a coil or core or solenoid in EMF is induced, known as self-induced. Self-induced EMF. Fine. Where L is always written in N phi upon I in Henry. So the unit is Henry. So this is self-induced EMF. Self-induced EMF. Fine. Similarly, you can define the equation of mutually induced EMF also. So let us discuss mutually induced EMF. So I already given an example of a transformer here. Fine. So if there is a coil and if the current flows, we know that the self EMF is induced here. Fine. And here we can say it is mutually induced EMF. The flux is created. Fine. Now instead of that, if we continue with two different coils, suppose if one coil or one solenoid which is wound with the winding, And if the battery is connected, if the battery is connected, fine, we know that the amount of current flows through it and it will create the magnetic flux having n one number of turns. So the number of turns are n1 here. Fine. Now this will create the flux phi1. Now similarly, if another coil, according to the Lenz law, if it keeps nearer to this, and if the galvanometer is connected here, galvanometer, fine, then this galvanometer will show the deflection when when it taken nearer to this, when this arrangement of solenoid is taken nearer to this, what is going to be happen? The flux which is created will also linked to the circuit too, like this, and it has their own magnetic field also, or own induced EMF also. So due to this, there is a self-induced EMF, but whenever the another solenoid which is to be taken nearer to the solenoid of the original one, where that battery of source is connected, the amount of current flows, fine. So few of the flux will link to the secondary, or we can say second this solenoid, fine. So this is coil 2, we can consider as coil 2, coil 1 having number of turns n2 also, fine. So this flux which travels uh, and will link to the coil 2 are known as phi 2 flux or mutual flux, or we can say it is mutual flux, fine. So here coil 1 has n1 turns, coil n2 coil 2 has n2 turns. The flux linked to the coil 1 is phi1, the flux linked to the coil is phi 2, fine. So here we can even also express a mathematical expression for this. So in this case, let us consider phi1 is the flux in coil 1 due to current I1. So here we can say if the current I1 is flowing, and flux phi 2, flux phi 2 induced in the coil, induced in the coil 2 due to flux phi 1 in coil 1, due to flux phi 1 in coil. So according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, mutually induced EMF in the second coil. There is a mutually induced EMF in the second coil. Fine. And this induced EMF is written as E2 is equal to minus N2 d phi by dt. Yes or no? Yes, we can write. Fine. Now this phi 2, here also we can write phi 2 because it is, now this phi 2, as I already told, this phi 2 is depends on what? Depends on the amount of current flowing through in the first coil or primary coil. So this phi 2 depends on I1 current, fine. Or we can write phi 2 is equal to K times I1 also. Or we can write K is equal to phi 2 upon I1. So rate of change of flux is what? Rate of change of flux is equal to K times the rate of change of current I1. Yes or no? So the meaning is rate of change of flux in the secondary coil or in the second coil is K times the rate of change of current I1. Fine. So here we can differentiate this equation with respect to time. So we can write d phi to by dt is equal to K times di1 by dt. And if we substitute this value in equation 1, this is an equation number 1, and if we substitute it, we can write E2 is equal to minus N2 into K into di1 by dt, di1 by dt, and if we substitute the value of K, we can write minus N2. What is the value of K here? K is pi 2 upon I1. So pi 2 upon I1 into di1 by dt, di1 by dt. So here we can write minus N2 pi 2 upon I1 into di1 by dt, where we can write induced EMF in the secondary coil is equal to minus M into di1 by dt, where M is equal to minus N2 pi 2 upon I1. So this is flux linkage. Number of turns into the flux is the flux linkage in coil 2 and the amount of current flowing through 1. So it is a mutual effect because the amount of current flows in the primary winding and it is the effect of flux linkage of the coil 2. So here we can write flux, sorry, M is equal to flux linkage of coil 2 upon current in coil 1. Getting my point, all of you? Agreed with me? What is self-induced EMF and what is mutually induced EMF?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So based on this, we can have a number of examples that you can solve. Fine. And finally, we can have this self-induced EMF and mutually induced EMF understanding. Fine. So let's have another theory where we can say inductances are in series and inductances are in parallel. Fine. Like capacitor, similarly, we can define for inductor also. So I'm not going to waste time here for uh, defining the equations of inductances in series and inductances is in parallel. Fine. So similarly, we can have various examples which you can use the different books for the solution. Fine. And then we are going to have the rise of current and decay of current through inductor. Fine. So we can write one example before that, and in the next lecture we'll complete the theory of rise and decay current through inductor. Fine. So let's have one example. Write down one example which you can solve by yourself. So the example, a 1200 turns oil is wound on a magnetic ring of cross-sectional area of 16 centimeters square. 16 centimeters square. If the flux density varies from 9 Tesla at 6 ampere to 1.5 Tesla at 12 ampere. Determine number 1, the self inductance in the coil. Also determine the induced EMF. Induced EMF if the current falls. The current falls from 12 ampere to 6 ampere in 0.1 second. So this is an example which you can solve with respect to the different equations given. Fine. So here a very simple thing is that number of turns are given, the change in flux density is given, change in current is also given. Fine. So here with the help of this expression minus L di by dt is equal to minus N d phi by dt. With the help of this expression, you can solve the remaining parameters. And induced EMF in the coil, induced EMF in the coil is written as minus L di by dt. Fine. And if you insert the various parameters, change in current, di is change in current, dt is change in time. So di is how much given here? That is given 12 ampere to 6 ampere, means 12 minus 6 is the change in current. Fine. And dt is in 0.1 second. So the initial time is 0 and it is being transferred to 0.1. So 0.1 minus 0 is your dt. And similarly, you can find the different parameters. Fine. So here you can calculate the inductance. If the number of turns are given, if the change in flux or flux density is given, if the rate of change of current is given, you can find using this expression, and you can find this expression also. Right. So there are a number of equations. There are a number of other examples are given in the different book. Please refer it and try to complete this. Fine. The only last topic remaining of this chapter, your chapter number 1, fine, review of DC circuit, and that is rise and decay of current through inductor. Fine. So I may try to cover this topic in the next theory class, and finally we will start with AC fundamentals. AC series parallel circuits, three-phase circuits, and the various equations we are going to derive. Fine. So till then, if you have any questions, you may ask right now, because I'm going to stop now. The time is over. Any more questions from your side?
No, sir.
Fine. I think all the theories which I covered right now all are already have studied. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now one more thing is I'm going to give you an assignments. In assignments there are number of theory, there are number of numericals are also there, and you have to submit as a part of submission, because your whole theory examination plus practical plus assignment, fine, will give you the grade accordingly. So it is a combination of various things. I think I already sent you a Google link where you have to submit your title for the PPT, fine. And similarly, I'm going to share all that different assignments which you have to write in a A4 size paper like this. Even you can write in the notebook also, no issue, fine, a notebook like this. Okay, so any questions? Otherwise we may stop this lecture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.